Hello. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's do some modding. There we go. We'll make it a little bigger. And let's hop in. Let's see. So I still got a bunch of things to do. Thalmic Workbench needs model adjustment. I still got to go through the spells and fix things here and there. See if I can get the projectile spells working. I think that would be a good start. I want to bring in the rituals, right? So, but I need to bring in the magic chalk first. And we got things to do. So this is what I have so far for my Thalmic Workbench. This is it. It's kind of bare bones. Gotta add some things to it. I think I'll take some things from the Arcanus or the Arcane, or is it Arcanus? Whatever that workbench is. Arcanus workbench. There we go. A little side by side here. So what do we got? We got like a book that's propped up. Got like a little dish of gems. I mean, I could put that in. Kind of like that cloth. See, I don't think the book will work. I think if I had a couple dishes... Little hourglass. I like that hourglass. Pop the hourglass right up here. You know what, for now though, it's just gonna be blank. I think I want to work on the spells first. So let me actually put down this double chest. Yeah, let's put down a couple of them. Man, I just want to dump all this stuff out. There we go. And let's go into here, so I will pull a little of this out. We'll put these away in here. Got a lot of spells. There we go. Okay. So let's take down a couple of these at a time. I'll do like batches of 4. So I know barrier works. Here, let's actually find something to attack me, this guy. So if I pop barrier on, while barrier's active, like I will take no damage from anything. That's what it is right now, but it lasts like very little. So you could like go in lava, right? This guy can hit me. But then, you know, as soon as it wears off, you're screwed. But I would say barrier is working pretty well. We'll do endless breath. The guy almost died. So if I pop this on, right, the annoying part is you still have a bar, but the spell does work. I could stay underwater for the duration of this buff. So those two things work. Coalesce, I know that works. Let's throw that here, back up a bit. Perfect, right? That one works. Oh, let me look at the effects too. I don't want that effect. Barrier, barrier. Where is barrier? Entity, here we go. So effect fire, let's see what kind of baked-in effects we have available. Let's go to server. Let's do effect fire. Okay, so this is part of the particle system. So we got things like heal, poison, shield. Shield would probably be good. E-sphere, let's try that. Let's shut down, let's do E-sphere. I've been eating some of these Hershey Kisses here. Gotta eat them before they go bad. These are Christmas Hershey Kisses. Alright, let's see what barrier looks like now. It was actually, that wasn't that bad. Alright. Coalesce looks like this. Endless breath. I kind of want E-sphere for endless breath as well. Let's see what other particles we have. I got snow. There's like different potion particles. Crown, gold, fire, heal. There's not a lot of particles for like status effect particles. So I think for this one, I'll do E-sphere as well. Fly. I'll kind of use that as my default. Lich form is already taken care of. I believe mage armor is already taken care of as well. What do we got? There we go. I need the spell. Here we go. Okay, so what was I talking about? So endless breath here. Let's log out and log back in. Lich form, fly. Yeah, see, it didn't save because the server was running. Alright, E-sphere, endless breath is the same thing. E-sphere, barrier is already set. Okay, let's get back in the world. Retest these spells. And we are either going to try to work on the couple of spells that I'm not able to get in the next update, see what else I can push out, or I will kind of pivot and we will make a block. We'll make magic chalk and then make magic runes and then try to be able to spawn those with the item when you like use them on the ground. And then that will at least leave this open to me starting the ritual system. Okay, so barrier. Looks good. I'd say that spell is done. Coalesce, that one looks great. I'd say that one is done. Endless Breath. We know it works. Perfect. You know what we're gonna do? We are going to change the effect for barrier. Because I'm also gonna spawn this particle as well. Right there. That way it looks a little more impressive. So that one's good. We'll pull this down, and this down. So Flame Bolt, you know what? Actually, Flame Bolt I'm going to put in here. Along with Frostbolt. I know Fly is not going to work. Let's put a work in progress in front of that. That one's going to be a very complex spell, and I got to figure out how I'm going to account for other sources of flying as well, and try to plan accordingly. So I'm not wiping out your Fly spell from like something else, your Fly, you know, effect from something else just because you don't have my buff on. So let's pull up this. All right, Weapon Wand Fly. We will put a asterisk WIP. Why am I like always over to the side? Jeez. There we go. That's better. All right, Fly is going to be considered a work in progress. Flame Bolt, Frost Bolt. I think maybe Mage Armor, Shadow Bolt, Whale, and Stealth. I believe those are all of the things that are work in progress right now. Right, so Flame Bolt, Fly, Frostbolt, Mage Armor, Shadow Bolt, Spirit of Whale, and Stealth. We'll log out, restart the server again. Let me in. There it is. Huh. Weird. Is it because the game... it's because the game was running... God, I hate that so much. Okay, Flame Bolt. The game is off, so I can put Flame Bolt, Frostbolt, Mage Armor, Shadow Bolt, Spirit of Whale, and Stealth. And down here, same thing, Flame Bolt. Oh, and I forgot Fly. There we go. So Flame Bolt, Fly, Frostbolt, Mage Armor, Shadow Bolt, Spirit of Whale, and Stealth. There we go. All right, now, oh my god, show me the differences. Thank you. It's like, Jesus Christ. Make sure it looks good. Yeah, it looks all right. There we go. Let's log back in. Why does it not say Fly work in progress next to it? What the fuck? You know what? It's acting weird. We're just gonna quit. And I will start this back up. I'm in the habit of doing that now, right? It's like, well, is it the game that's screwed up? Is it not the game? Alright, now let's... Oh, this is already opened back up. Here we go. Copy this work in progress stuff. Okay, so... See, it didn't do it. Oh, God, that's so annoying. Paste, 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 paste. Spirit of Whale and Stealth. Down here, Flame Bolt, Fly, Frostbolt, Mage Armor, Shadow Bolt, Spirit of Whale, and Stealth. Are you sure you got it this time? Do I need to open something else temporarily? Jeez. Oh no, where'd my drink go? I may have to get up and get my water soon. Try again. Jeez. There we go. Let's see. That's all I wanted. Right there. Alright, let's put that in there. You know, I guess I don't need these in here. I can just skip those, right? Because it's these three right here. Let's pull out Lich Form, Mage Armor, Resist Fire. Shadow Bolt is a work in progress. I know that's not done. And then we will pull out all of our Spirit stuff. I know Stealth is definitely not done, and Swiftness. Okay. So the fun part is here, I have things like Lich Form, which will turn you into a Lich, and this actually increased my mana, my max mana, by 50, and my mana regen. Each second, it gives me 5 additional mana. Now, this buff is exclusive with, like, Spirit of Bear, so if I put this on, I actually gain 100 hit points. I lose the other buff there, which is great. Let's try and put it on one more time, just to make sure. Yep, mana regen rate is normal. But this one's exclusive, right? It overwrote Lich Form. And then we have the Spirit of Treant, which I just have it as one of these little flower plant dudes, these little Quebec. But with this, you can't sprint and you go kind of slow, but you actually regenerate health slowly over time. I think it's like each second you get like 2 health back by being in this form. Spirit of Whale's work in progress. That's not working yet. And then, of course, we got Spirit of Wolf, which increases your run speed. And if we look, yep, mana, health isn't 296 anymore. So my dynamic buff system is working, which is awesome. Here, let's put that away. That works. That works. We'll keep Spirit of Whale out. We'll put Lich Form back in. Resist Fire. Do a quick test. Yep, that hurts. There we go. So now I can go swimming in lava as long as I can hold my breath. But I'm not going to take any damage, so Resist Fire is indeed working. And that's a working one. Mage Armor, I think for now it only gives you like 25 max health. I need to figure out how to give you more defense, because that's what I want. I want this to to give you like a bump in health and defense. So that one's not quite there yet. It's work in progress, but we may be able to squeeze that one out. And of course, swiftness makes it to where you go really fast. That may be a little too fast because it's in addition to the other run speed buff you already have. But swiftness does last, I think it lasts like 60 seconds. So it's more like sprint. But we're gonna tone that down a little bit. Swiftness. Duration 60 seconds. Alright, so I gotta go into the buff for swiftness. There we go. And we'll just hit it with a 2.0. Alright, we'll start back up. Hey Wasteland, how you doing? Mr. Puppy, my only puppy. How are you? Nice hood. Oh, that? Hope you're doing well today. I'm dining on Hershey Kisses. I had 4, I got 2 more left. And we are testing spells, and we're going to be working on Mage Armor, maybe Shadow Bolt. I'll try and get that. Doing well, thanks, my only vice. The wolf is also wearing a hood. Oh, yeah. When you shapeshift, yeah, it tries to, like, if there's support for the animal wearing armor, it's gonna wear whatever armor you have. Wolf is a little weird, though. I think there's something going on with the login servers right now for Hytale. Alright, so let's put on swiftness again. Insufficient mana. There we go. Okay, I think that is better. Excellent. And we still got our resist fires, so I can go right in here. Oh, and it's about to wear off. Oh no, it wore off. Reverse Red Riding Hood. Love it. Feeling more like a mage for sure. Do you? I think we can make Cindercloth clothes, right? We can make these robes in game. I think so. See, I need to figure out how to do like the projectile resistance, the physical resistance. It's what we need to figure out, but this spell is good to go as well. So let's put that right in here. Ooh, so we have Spirit of Whale and we have Mage Armor. Those, and we have like Shadow Bolt. I'll pull Shadow Bolt down. Let's take a look at Mage Armor because it increases your max health by 25, which is what I want, but I want a splash of defense with it. Right? I want this to be a buff that you feel compelled to put on yourself. Hey Darkerly, are you winning? Yep. I'll show you what we're winning right here. Hold on. I'll pull a couple things down. We'll pull that down. Right, so I have my polymorphic spells that actually affect your stats, right? Spirit of Wolf makes you run faster. I think my favorite, just because I'm a necromancer, is Lich Form. Oh, my mana's too low. Lich Form does take a lot of mana, but it's basically you get 50 more max mana, and your mana regen ticks like every second. It's like 5 times. Look at that, though. Like a true Lich. It's my favorite. I want to make more Necromancer themed things. Like Shaman, Necromancer. Oh, what do we got here? Damage resistance, physical amount, calculation type, multiplicative, projectile. Is that really? But but for damage resistance, can I put that on the buff here, right? I would think I could just... Here, hold on. Let me shut down here. I'll try that out. I think I tried that and it didn't seem to do anything. If we're doing this, I'm formatting it right so it's a little easier to see and read. Because I think I saw this in the armor. There we go. Make sure that curly brace lines up with that. So damage resistance, physical, projectile. I think I need to put this on infinite true. And then duration, overwrite. So we think this is what it is. Let's see. That's the full slice of it. So you have stats modifiers. And then health. Okay, so you have a stat modifiers, and then the damage resistance is it's in another block. It's not underneath stat modifiers, it looks like. And it looks like you have tags in there too. See, I think it's just a little. We'll try this. I think I've tried putting damage resistance in here because I looked at armor and it seemed like either it did something and I just didn't know where to look, or what. Like I don't know. Oh, before we go in, let's put this in E sphere. Oh, and I put this in swiftness. There, test that. That looks good. All right, the rest should be good. Watch it work now. I never know. If as long as it works, I'll be happy. All right, mage armor, right? So if I go into here, this is where I would see it, right? Defense. See, this is what I deemed as a failure, though, but would I see it there? You know, I guess not, because it tells me the projectile resistance here. Is there a way to see, like, projectile resistance and physical resistance and whatnot? When you hover with the item, yeah, the stat will show. Yeah, I was hoping to... Oh, look at that, fire resistance. A lot of fire resistance on that. Maybe it was working before then. I just hovered over here and I'm like, I should see defense increase, and it didn't. Hey, QP Tech, how you doing? How was your day? Let's go to mage armor. I need this to be set up. Hold on, let's shut down. I'm going to assume this is working, and I think for this buff, giving you an extra, the extra burst of health, and then maybe 10 on the projectile. Would that be too much? 10 and 10? No, because if a chess piece gives you like 9, maybe I should make this like 8 then. I want it to be like wearing another piece of equipment. Think you need to make a new UI for the menu? Yeah, probably. Until they are using their new UI system, I don't even want to touch UI anymore. Good, lots of snow. Yeah, we got a lot of snow too. It's okay. Let's go back to swiftness. I gotta set this back to false. All right. And I think for Spirit of Whale, I can't remember where I saw it. I know I figured out how to increase run speed dynamically, like through code. I can't for the life of me remember how I did it or what I did or maybe where I saw it. So that's why Spirit of Whale isn't done. Because I wanted to increase your swim speed, but when you're on land, I wanted to decrease your movement speed. Reconnect. Yeah, we did get a lot of snow. I think we got... It was definitely over a foot. My back is killing me from shoveling. Shoveled like 3 different times. Full driveway, like everything. Clearing it out. Alright, so I would deem Mage Armor as working. Assuming that just because I can't see the protection here doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, right? Physical protection. I could add to the localization file just to let you know what the spell does. Here we go. Mage Armor, Grimoire that holds knowledge of a specific spell. There we go, and it will grants the caster 25 bonus I'll say grants the caster 25 or plus 25 max health and plus 8% physical/projectile protection. And I'll say for this, plus 50 max mana and plus 5 MP a second. Probably start putting in numbers for this stuff. I'll say plus 2 health regeneration. I'll say plus 2 health a second at the cost of movement speed. Increase run speed by 2x. Oh, actually, this is 1.5x. By 2x. There we go. There's bear form. All right, increasing, granting plus 100 max health. There we go. What else? So that would be plus 25 health plus 8% physical projectile protection. There we go. That's all incoming damage. Okay, perfect. Making it look better. I got the fragment dimensions sorted out pretty good. Now I want to peek at persistent dimensions. Ooh. Yeah, I do. I really got to try that mod of yours out. I told myself, you know what? I get to do that. That's a treat to me. I get to do that when I have, like, right now the mod, like the magic mod in its current form was just like a collection of ideas to see if a magic mod would work in the state that the game is in. I got it working. So now it's about creating like a gameplay loop, right? So it's not just like an almost borderline admin test weapon with like test spells and, you know, all this stuff on it, right? That's why I remarked it as test. Right now we have like a way to make the grimoires. We have a way to, you know, like make everything. Mana, we're using mana. You know, everything has its own stats, right? I got spell effects. We got like, you know, we got stuff going on. Which form's awesome. All right, Spirit of Wolf. Oh, I can remove the work in progress part. Let me shut down, right? And let's go to Mage Armor. We'll remove the work in progress from there. And from there. All right, another spell done. Let's try to... Oh boy, do I want to pursue Shadow Bolt and try to... I don't even know how I would fix that. I have no idea how I would fix that. Reconnect. But we could try and look at Shadow Bolt. We could also try to look at... Oh boy. We could try and do the Spirit of Whale to get the swim speed working. Yeah, there's something going on. Like I'm trying to log in, and like every once in a while it's like, nope, can't log in. There's Mage Armor. Alright, so we got Spirit of Whale, Spirit of Treant. Did I have something more to do with that one? I think that one's good. Spirit of Bear is good as well. Trying to figure out what the third portal in the Creative Hub is. One is the normal world, one is the Creative Flat World, the third one, I don't know what it is. I remember seeing those portals. I just ran into the one ahead of me, right? That brought me into the world. I have no idea even how to get back to there. Had login issues all day also. Okay, good. So it's not just me. Yeah, they're probably getting hammered. You know, some jerk out there is like, dude, I'm gonna be funny. Look at me, everybody. What does this do? The fuck is this? What does this do? Is that poison? That's gotta be a poison bolt. Hold on. Is this another spell we can add? Damn, it hit hard. Help, police! All right. It's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Bone staff, huh? You can do /hub to go back. Oh, I'm not in a creative world. Oh, this world's not a creative world. Okay. You know, just because I know I'm probably going to forget that, let's add that to the old pool of knowledge. Here, let's go into references. And I'll put that right towards the top here. /hub in creative worlds bring you back to the hub. Perfect. I really want to see what this staff is. I guess we can do do we want to try to do Spirit of Whale just to get that one done? Let's see. I gotta go to my buffs. Buff effects. Crap, how do you do this? How do you manipulate run speed? I got way too much open, so let's close other tabs. There we go. So that's me trying to do fly, and then realizing, wait, this is gonna be bigger than I thought. Is it this? I think it's movement, get settings, and then base speed. Maybe that's what it was for movement. So let me re-enable my movement manager. Here, let's just shut down the game here. Pool of knowledge. I have a puddle of knowledge. We gotta flamingo it, right? We know so much. Man, we are stumbling onto this stuff. It's like being in a dark room and something smacks you in the face and you run into it and you feel like, oh, that's cool. Hey guys, I found this. Follow my voice. Not everyone makes it. Movement, get settings. And I would say it would be base speed would be what I want. I think that's what I want to manipulate. So I'm actually gonna copy this whole thing, get it out of here. Let's go into Spirit of Whale. There, and in here I'm gonna get the movement manager. And if you are swimming, this is gonna equal, we'll say like 15F, something ridiculous. If you are not swimming, let's have it equal 1F. And I think 5.5 is the regular. Let's keep those in. And then what I could do is I could apply an empty modifier for like health. Just to be able to call it here, and then I can say like, yeah, okay, so the buff expires. Let's put you back to the 5.5, the default. Let's make your speed the default speed. That way it cleans it up nicely. All right, Spirit of Whale. Let me get close here, just in case. Alright, does not seem faster at all. and I still have to adjust my Y value where my eye height is, because my model's so big, it thinks I'm underwater. This didn't do anything. This didn't do anything. Maybe it's not base speed? Air control max multiplier. Is there a water control? damn it, I thought there'd be like a water control because they're swim jump force. Interesting. So there's not like a swim control, there's strafing. Roll times, minimum speed multiplier, minimum slide, minimum fall, max speed multiplier. Is it, guy, like, is it max speed multiplier? Right, and the max speed multiplier can be like 2.0? Probably in float. I mean, we could try it. I know we're close, though. I know we're close. It's going to be one of these things. And for this, I'm just going to take a look here. It's definitely has nothing to do with air. It's not like backwards walk, backwards run, crouch. There's climbing speed. Spirit of Monkey, guys. Makes you climb up ladders almost instantly. Drag coefficient, so there's fall. Ooh, fall momentum loss. Fall jump force. That may be how I can get like slow fall. Inverted gravity. Could you imagine? Oh man. We got more fall speed, yeah, and then we're back onto the roll strife. Swim jump force. All right. Connect. All right, Spirit of Whale me. It just doesn't feel faster. This is funny though. It's funny how you're like you're flapping along. All right, so that's not it. I mean, what if I'm gonna change a bunch of things here? I think we'll see if anything sticks. Let's look for anything with speed. So we tried base speed, that didn't do anything. Max speed multiplier, that's what we just did. I'll put in base speed as well. We'll do that one. There's like an air control speed. I don't think that's going to be anything, but I don't know how they are. I don't know how swimming is in this game. If it's considered a kind of flying, like, control. Horizontal fly, minimum slide, vertical fly. Right, like, would it be like flying speed? Let's just put in horizontal flying speed. Let's crank it up. There's a minimum speed multiplier and a maximum. It could be something like that. Forward run speed multiplier. We'll try that. All right, we'll try these 4 things, right? One of these have to be it. Let me in. I feel spoiled now. It's like it takes 7 seconds for the server to start up, and I'm already used to it, and I'm still impatient. You think I'd be happy with what the game gave me? All right, guys. Free Willy. This is bullshit. Is it like some kind of drag? Maybe this isn't the setting. This is crap. Is there anything else for movements? So, alright, set default setting. There's an update. Oh, wait. Do I have to potentially send, like, a packet or something? I don't know. None of this did it. None of that did it. Yeah, we'll comment that out too. I think for now we will keep Spirit of Whale work in progress. I will look at that tonight. I feel like I'm close, but I think I'm missing something. I'll have to look at that tonight. I kind of want to continue on here because I really want to test out Shadowbolt and figure out why it's doing that, like, break into something, right? Crash into something and literally blowing up the character. And this is how I'm doing it, right? Reference, entity store, projectile reference. Let me take a look at other projectiles in the game, right? Because we have that projectile for the poison. We just discovered that. And that was from the bone staff. So we have like Ice Ball, Ice Bolt, Roots, Hypixel. What's in here? Minigames, Gun. Man. NPCs, Undead. Oh, the Archmage. So there's the Corruption Orb, which pulls from Wandwood Rotten Corruption Orb. Like, excuse me? I Void Blast. What is that? Sticks vertically true. Supper has arrived later. See you later. Oh, what are you eating? What are you eating? See, this looks like elegant. You know what I mean? Like this may be what Shadowbolt should be reflecting here. I'm going to comment out this key. And this is called I Void Blast. Let's give that a try. So instead of a Shadow Bolt, maybe, as long as this is a valid projectile, which it should be, right? I Void Blast. Should be. Let me in. Maybe this would be a good Chaos Bolt. I can have it do like 100 points of damage a hit. Costs like 100 mana. Oh wait, that's not what I want. I don't want that. Yeah, this is it. Nothing. Nothing. It probably doesn't have a config. You know, I don't think it has a config. So I can't really use any of these as a basis. I'm gonna have to maybe go into player, staff, and then take a look at this. There we go. We'll try this out. And let me take a look to see if there are any other kinds of spawn projectiles that maybe don't have a config. See, that one has a config, so does that one. On projectile spawn interaction. Yeah, so both of these... I don't know. We'll try and go in. The config, I may have to do something more with projectiles if this doesn't work. Yeah, this isn't working either. So there's gotta be a special way to spawn these. Because you do have to put a config in. Right, and it looks for certain things, right? Like get spawn rotation. Get pitch. Let me look at the configs. There, this is what I want. We're going to duplicate this tab. Go back into here, projectile configs, NPCs, intelligent, weapon, staff, ice. Nah, see it. But these projectiles are working. Ice ball and like the fireball. Those are not working, and those are taking the configs, and that's what Shadow Bolt is modeled after. I wonder if there's something fundamentally wrong with it needing a config. Let's take a look at projectiles. All right, projectile Shadow Bolt. And I actually let's shut this down. Hold on, it's gonna screw up again. Yeah, see, load, save memory. Just exit. We'll start it again. There we go. So that's actually what I'm gonna want this to be. Shadow Bolt. I need to change the name down here. We'll do rename Shadow Bolt 1, refactor. In the projectile configs, it's gonna be the same thing. We will go to rename, paste, refactor. Appearance, radius, height, horizontal, center, pitch, sticks vertically, yep, gravity 0. Kind of want this to do more damage. So we'll do 40 points of damage. Death effects on hit. Let's kind of look at it side by side here. So I got my appearance, which I also need to change here. No. Those are all test spawners. Projectiles. Here we go. Spells, Shadow Bolt. I need to rename this. Then rename that. There we go. So it should be getting from this appearance, I believe. Nope, actually it would be getting it from here, so let's rename this. And rename that. Right, so it should be getting it from here. And then There we go. System ID for the particles. It's going to be Shadow Bolt, right? Because that is the particles. Shadow Bolt. And then in here, under particles, projectiles. Items, projectiles, spells. Yeah, I'm going to have to rename this. Rename that to Shadow Bolt. Here we go. Items, projectiles. All right, let's rename this. That's also Shadow Bolt. Rename Shadow Bolt. Oh. Undo. Rename that. Okay, so now this should map over to here nicely. We will pull from this. This model will pull from these particles, which will go to these spawners. I guess to make everything even. I could change the names here, then we can do a rename. That way this is the template. Rename. Alright, so that should be mapped accordingly up here. We got our config, right? So the model's gonna be just Shadow Bolt. All of that is all right. I think that's everything. Right, because that was items, and then over here in particles, we have the old Shadow Bolt. Oh, wait, that was for the staff. Okay, projectiles. This is better. And I think these are mapped out. Actually, we have one more thing to do. In here, yeah, right here, Shadow Bolt. In here, Shadow Bolt, and then in here. Perfect. Okay, let's hop back in and just see. Oh, well, I can't do that yet because we still need to figure this out. See, it's pulling it up by a config, right? So I'm doing a projectile config. And then a projectile module, spawn projectile, the shooter reference, the command buffer, the config. Projectile config. This would be Shadow Bolt 1. Let me just make sure that it still looks like a Shadow Bolt. Because I did just change a lot of things on the fly. And I don't trust myself to do it right. Do. I still have 2 Hershey Kisses left. Come on, man, let me in. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I can already tell something screwed up, pretty major. Yep. Got rid of all my stabs. All right. I need to step through this bit by bit. Appearance Shadow Bolt. And everything else is fine. projectile. Uses the model Shadow Bolt. Yep, and everything else is fine. And then I have this spawner. And that looks fine. And then in here, right, particles, particles, textures, projectiles, spells, Shadow Bolt 1, and then the PNG file there, and then that's it. And I did all three, but I'm just going to double check. Yep, got that one. Double check this. Yep, got that one. And let's take a look at the model, right? System ID is Shadow Bolt. And that's for the particles. And then this is going to be in here, items, projectiles, spells, Shadow Bolt. Both of that looks fine. And then we got the blocky model and the Shadow Bolt 1 texture. Blocky model and texture, perfect. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Right, because there are no projectiles in here. That's not where projectiles are held. They are held in here. Oh, duh. I know what's going on. I'm using the Shadow Bolt particle. That's why they weren't working. Let's see, hold on. Let's minimize that. Go back into items. Weapons. Might as well change it in the Archmage staff. And it should be down here. Primary item. Weapon, Shadow Bolt, Mist. Oh no, I guess I was wrong. So I did not change the weapon effects. And that's fine. Actually, I could correct this. This isn't why it failed. I'm not using that at all. Staff Shadow Bolt texture. It's called the Archmage staff. Let's go to wands. Take a quick look at a wand here. And of course, there's not going to be anything in there. We got to look at the template. Primary attack, secondary attack. I have something slotted for the ability slot whenever I get that activated. I'm not sure if that's going to be something on these wands, though. Particles, here we go. Weapon, Shadow Bolt, Mist. Everything's pointing back to that. Maybe I need to look at that. Let's go to particles. Weapon, staff, right? Weapon, Shadow Bolt, Mist. Which ties into these spawners. Oh, yeah. But the spawners, here it is. The spawners tie into my previous folder. Right, so Spark 2 is something different. I think it was that one file. Yep, it was this one file that I think screwed it up. Not a lot of good debugging info. But that'll probably come in time. Team's probably working on a bunch of other stuff. Reconnect. Work, motherfucker, work. There we go. We got our items back. It was that one change. All right. Is it a Shadow Bolt? Yes. Now, this is the bug. That happens. We cannot have that happen. So we need to fix that. Other than that, it should be doing a bunch of damage. 30? Right? Was it 30? That's still saying 20. Ha! Okay, so let me get rid of all other tabs. We just want this one. And I can get rid of that. I'm gonna put something in here. mmutils.logger. And I'll say no projectile config. I'm wondering if I could just invoke it like this. Because technically I do have something called Shadow Bolt. It's just not a whole, like, config for it. I wonder if that is the problem. Although, if that was the problem, it wouldn't be working with Staff, Wood, Rotten, Corruption Orb. It wasn't working with that, and it should. I would really like to get this figured out, because then I can make the flare, or Flame Bolt, and the Frostbolt. No projectile config. Maybe I'm going about this wrong. So we got projectile. So we got a projectile config, projectile module, component interaction, so there's nothing with that. What about... What's projectile module have in it? Nothing. Projectile... It wouldn't be component interaction source? Projectile source? No. Oh, that's that's from damage. So what is that? Depreciated? Config, module, config... I mean, there's a couple configs. What? Show me... Right, because there's the asset map and asset store, right? So it would be an asset map, and I would get an asset. The problem here is that it's not a projectile config we want to invoke here. It's just the projectile itself, which is why it's not going any further. And then we have the projectile module. So this is the thing. Projectile module, get spawn projectile. It needs a config, right? Because we looked at this. And it passes config into here, right? Which rides off of this. Because it can't be null. I think it would crash if it was null. Where's the config? That's what I'm looking for, right? Because that's where it's getting its pitch, its rotation, its interactions, right? Its model. So it's using the config for everything. I have no idea. On projectile spawn interaction. No, that's nothing. Reference entity store, projectile reference, command buffer, add entity holder spawn. Ooh. Do I just have to maybe reconstruct this myself? Right, because we're getting velocity, we're getting physics. This seems like a lot of work to spawn a projectile. This seems like an awful lot of work. Hey puppy, gotta be good and go to bed. Play 2 rounds of Magic without getting completely mad, which is progress for me. Hey, thanks for lurking, man. Thanks for stopping by. You have a good one. Sleep well. Sleep well. Time is it? Yeah, it's almost time for me to go anyways. Holy moly. I think it needs to be a projectile config. Let me look at other working projectile configs. So let's go to server, projectile config, weapons, staff, ice. Right, so let's use this. This is the game's projectile config for Ice Bolt. So I should be able to come up here, paste this in here. Now this is just writing off the game system. And I'm just spawning it through the reference store here. If we still have the problem, it tells me that it's not my projectile config, it's something with this method. So let's do a quick test. Yep, that is definitely ice. It's not me. It's not me. That ain't me. I wonder if anyone else ran into this problem and maybe has a solution. Anyone figure out how to reference projectile config in a custom interaction? Trying to make a staff with new projectile. Facing the same exact issue, no idea how to actually get the projectile to use the projectile config, and from my 12 hours plus of searching, so that's not it. I have no idea. No idea why this is having a problem. Ooh, this is good. This is good. And projectile reference isn't really anything special, right? I would have to like... I don't think there's anything for me to tweak in here. Spawn position, launch position, the command buffer for adding the entity, and the creator entity reference. And all that together should be spawning this correctly. And I'm basing the direction that it goes based off of your, like, body. Like, your head rotation. I have no idea. No idea. This is what happens when you mess with dark magic. This is what happens. I do, while I'm in here, I do want to up the damage. What'd I say, 30? It was going to be 30 damage? Here, let's shut down. There we go. So that should be 30 damage, right? Force, knockback, everything else is fine. I really wish I knew how to, like, just shoot this stupid fucking projectile without a config so I can test it. That's all I want. Oh, wait a minute. Projectile module, get. Yeah, yeah. And then spawn projectile, and yeah, you got to put in those things, right? So, projectile component. Check if the entity is a projectile. Add projectile component. So you get the type, the projectile component type. And then you would get an entity reference. So this is what I'm following here. This is one of the online guides. Density, I wonder what that is. And this would go into projectiles. Getting the projectile config from the assets store, right? So I do that. Physics, model, launch force, right? And that's how you get different parts of that. I don't need that. Get standard physics provider component type. Ballista interface. So this is basically what I'm doing, right? So get spawn projectile. Projectile config, get, yeah, so I'm getting that. I'm invoking it here. Predicted spawn. Predicted ID, prediction UUID. I don't know why I need to do that. Collision handling, bounce behavior, sticking behavior. That's what she said. All right. Standard physics tick, right? I'm still not seeing anything here. Magic missile. That is one of the spells I wanted to do. Right, here we go. So, spawning from code. This is called Fireball Launcher. So we would get that. It's not my mod, you know, Fireball, right? But you would have to have a config. And then you'd get the transform, you'd offset the position, get it as a direction, and then you put the whole thing in. That's exactly what I'm doing to a T. It's exactly what I'm doing. I don't know. This one's a head scratcher. This one is absolutely a head scratcher. We got no attacks right now. We got no attacks. How did, you know what? How does a bow do this? How does a bow summon, like, spawn a projectile? I think it's probably, you know what? It's probably through here. Yeah, interactions. So yeah, parent projectile config arrow two-hand bow. Which is this guy, right? Which has a parent for a projectile configuration for arrow base. And you're just adding a projectile hit, circumstance, and miss. So projectile config arrow base, which is probably projectile config crossbow? Nah, that's a crossbow signature, right? So there's a projectile config arrows. Here we go. fucking basic as hell. It is beyond basic. You know what? What if I just take this whole thing and overwrite what I have for Shadow Bolt in this config? What if I just do that? It's gonna look like a goddamn arrow. There we go. If it still has a problem, that's proof enough, right? Because I'm using a game asset, like my personal asset, nothing. Game asset, nothing. You know, like this one where I'm using mine and just copying like an arrow. Arrows should work. I think people can shoot bows and shoot crossbows without their characters blowing up. And while I pull this up, we are going to pull up Twitch. All right, let's just see what it looks like. Oh, duh, it's still the ice. Let's shut down. I need to go back into Shadow Bolt, and we need projectile config Shadow Bolt 1. Who is playing Hytale? I think we're gonna have to throw it to someone new. All right, who do we have? Let's scroll down the list a little bit. And let's see, probably this guy. Let's see. I just want to make sure they speak English. All right. They may not be talking too much, but we will raid this person. But first, I'm gonna hop into here, and I got like a couple minutes till I have to leave. Blown up. So that didn't work. That did not work at all. There we go. We'll put it back as Shadow Bolt. Show difference. Here we go. Perfect. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I think I may try to push out an update tonight. I'm gonna have to document everything. I'm gonna have to update the Curse Forge page as well with all the new information. Maybe get some new screenshots in, right, to kind of sexy it up a little bit. But the initial like gameplay loop, like you'll be able to make grimoires, you'll be able to actually cast spells. They use mana. A lot of the spells are working. There's the handful, like these projectile spells that I'm gonna have marked as like work in progress. Like you could use them at your own, you know, your own peril. And you know, we'll fix the 3 different spell types that we still need to work on. But that will be probably coming, like I said, later tonight. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Adios. See